What's up guys? Today on Robbie's Reviews, I am in the 2017 Mercedes-AMG S63 Coupe. I just want to thank my friend Alan, who's allowed me to take his car out for the day to drive and review it and to show you guys all of its cool features. Let's go check it out. Alright guys, here she is, the 2017 Mercedes-AMG S63 Coupe. This example is finished in Designo Allanite Gray Magno. It is a nice lighter gray color with a lot of metallic flake in it. And you guys may have seen the Designo Selenite Gray Magno, which is a much darker gray. It's actually about the same shade of gray as the wheels, which are actually 21-inch, 3-piece forged Strass wheels, which look very, very good with this nice metallic blue color for the AMG brakes. And the barrel of the wheel, I don't know if you guys can see that, the barrel actually matches the calipers. Very nice touch. Now, as you guys can see, this vehicle has the night package as well as the carbon exterior package. So aside from all the gloss black going around the front bumper, the badges here, continuing around, you got the trim that's black and the parts of the diffuser there. You also have the large carbon fiber diffuser here, the rear diffuser that houses the chrome quad exhaust tips, say AMG on them. Then moving around the side here, you have the carbon fiber side skirts, as well as the carbon fiber mirror caps, which looks very, very good. And coming back to the front, you have the carbon fiber insert that goes all the way around the front of the bumper here, with plenty of cuts and openings, allowing for more airflow for that 5.5 liter twin turbo V8, also known as the M157 V8 bi-turbo, which we'll get a look at in a little bit. Now this car will probably look a little familiar to you guys, as I did the 2018 S63 Cabriolet not too long ago. Now, 2018 was the year that the S-Class Coupe and sedan received a facelift. So this being 2017, it is pre-facelift. So it still has these quad projector headlights with these Swarovski crystals going through, as well as the different grille. And the front end changes a little bit as far as the bumper goes, the openings for the facelift. And the silhouette or side profile of the car stays mostly the same. Really nothing has changed. And the facelifted models have the OLED taillights, organic LED, and a little bit different exhaust tips and rear diffuser. But aside from that, most of the changes that you'll see on the facelifted model as opposed to the pre-facelift, which this is actually on the interior. And we'll check that out in a little bit. Right now, just continuing to walk around the outside of the car. You guys probably notice this is a very, very large car, and it's only 2 doors. It is actually on the short wheelbase S-Class chassis. So whereas my car and regular S-Class sedans are standard, at least in North America, long wheelbase, then you have the Maybach, which is extended wheelbase. This is actually on an S-Class sedan standard wheelbase or short wheelbase chassis. So it's considered a personal luxury coupe, personal luxury vehicle, which Cadillac actually started in the 70s. And as far as competition goes, there's not much that's in the same segment as this vehicle, if anything really. Not many car companies do personal luxury vehicles. And that's why as of 2020, the S-Class Coupe and the Cabriolet will be taken out of production. It'll just be the S-Class sedan for the S-Class range. And then you'll have the new redesigned SL Class, so that'll be interesting. It'll basically take over for this. So at the end of 2020, this year, this is going to be quite a rare car. And honestly, even right now, they're not common. You rarely see S550 coupes or cabriolets, let alone S63s and S65s. You'll probably notice the Brabus badges around the car. This car actually does have a Brabus lowering module and some interior pieces and I believe a tune and stuff like that. So here you have another Brabus badge here. And of course, this being the S-Class, which is the top of the range model, the top dog of the Mercedes-Benz lineup. When it comes to technology, it has everything. It is just dripping in technology and creature comforts. You have things like the adaptive cruise control or Distronic Plus, and that's another thing. So after 2017, the Distronic Plus became Drive Pilot, and along with the name change, the cars that were equipped with the system actually got more sensors, cameras, and a more advanced software, which actually increased the autonomous driving and safety capabilities. But this Distronic Plus is no slouch. You can see it has the front camera, part of the surround view package. Front rear parking sensors all around. This car will park itself. You can see another one of the cameras here on the mirror for the surround view. And then moving around to the back. While some people do put trunk spoilers or ducktail spoilers on the S63 Coupe, I honestly love how it's got that natural shape just molded into the trunk and it actually continues a little bit into the fender. And that line actually goes all the way down the side of the car, forming another line here, and then continuing into the headlight, coming out onto the bumper, and just going through the grille. That's just one thing that Mercedes-Benz does unlike anybody else. Their ability to just mold the aluminum, the body, and just create lines that really no other cars have. You actually have these functional vents here behind the bumper that helps channel air out of the wheel well. Gotta love the way that carbon fiber just shines in the sun there. Now, just like with the sedan, the S-Class Coupe, if it comes with the P1 package or Premium 1, if you kick under the trunk here, it actually opens up. It's a little kick sensor there. You don't have to physically kick the car, just really swipe your foot underneath. And it's a little smaller trunk than the sedan. The seats don't fold down, but nonetheless, there's still plenty of room. You have a trunk floor here, lots of space. There's no spare wheel or tire on this car. But pretty large trunk. It is a full-size coupe, so it is very generous with the trunk space. Now, there's multiple ways to close the trunk. You can either press this button here on the left and it'll just close it, this on the right and it'll lock the car completely if it's off, or you could just swipe your foot again and it's a soft closed trunk. Here in the back you can see some of the Burmeister speakers, which is Mercedes-Benz's premium audio system. You still have Harman Kardon on the lesser vehicles. And Burmeister is an option on most of the vehicles. And then there's a Burmeister high-end 3D system, which is totally overkill, and I don't think it's necessary. However, if you do manage to find a car with it, and you know, you can make it work, then why not? But it's about a $700, $800 option, I think, and the base Burmeister system, or entry level, if you can even call it that, is definitely fine. Coming up to the windshield, you have the full color and reconfigurable heads-up display, as well as the stereo cameras for the Distronic Plus, automatic wiper sensor, lane keep assist, and of course in the mirrors you have the blind spot monitoring little triangle there. And of course every S-Class Coupe and sedan comes standard with a full glass panoramic roof. On the Coupes, however, it is fixed, so it doesn't even vent or slide back like on the C-Class Coupes. It actually slides back. On the S-Class, for whatever reason, it's a fixed roof. You do get a sunshade, and on some cars you actually get an option called Magic Sky Control, which basically uses an electrochromatic tint feature, so it makes the roof get darker and filters out pretty much 100% of the sunlight, just so you can look out during the day. And at night it's a pretty cool feature too. You can also turn it off, so it acts like a regular sunroof. And another one of my favorite features of Mercedes-Benz two-door vehicles that just shows the engineering that goes into them is when you hold unlock on the key here, the windows go down, revealing no B-pillar. So obviously it's a frameless design here on the door, but the fact that you have no B-pillar means you can enjoy basically almost open top cruising, but with a fixed roof over you. And it's the same thing on the convertibles. When you have the soft top up, if it's a soft top Mercedes, you can have the windows down and then you get no B-pillar. So it's a very cool experience, especially if you have passengers in the back here. It's actually a pretty large back seat, all things considered. My seat's all the way back because of the easy exit feature. But when it's all the way up, I mean, if you have a kid back there or just a shorter person, you have plenty of room. You have cup holders, Burmeister speakers. The rear seats are heated as well. And right now we're going to press lock, put the windows up. Alright, and before we step inside and check out the interior, let's open the hood real quick and check out that 5.5 liter twin-turbo V8. Alright, here we go. And there it is. 5.5 liter bi-turbo V8 that produces 577 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque. And of course you see the AMG's one-man, one-engine policy. So this engine was handcrafted in Falterbach, Germany by this individual here. And you can see the nice carbon fiber engine cover. There's the ECU up there. So these vehicles are very easy to tune. This is not the 4-liter hot V where the turbos are in the valley, like on the facelifted version of this car, as well as other models, C63, E63, G63. The turbos are actually down on the side of the engine. Now with this engine, there isn't really that much turbo lag, but compared to the 4-liter M177, there's definitely a little bit noticeable turbo lag because the turbos are not in the valley. But with the M157 here, being down on the side of the engine, it's just a little bit. But really, the throttle response is still great, especially in sport mode. And it's a really well balanced car. It's not exactly front mid-engine, however the engine, or most of it, is sitting really behind the front axle. So the weight distribution is great. unlike with an Audi or something where you have basically the entire engine sitting on or in front of the front axle. And that really makes for a lot of understeer. You see the matte paint goes all the way through. Mercedes did not cheap out anywhere. All the hardware is painted, everything. Did a really great job. So little approval stickers up here and specs. Alright, now let's close it down. Alright, now we're going to step inside, start it up. As you can see right off the bat, you got the amazing saddle brown and black interior. It is a Designo interior, full leather all around. You have this amazing contrast stitching with this white piping woven in between it. You have the contrast stitching here, the black on the door panel, and then down here like on the armrest. It's more of a, I know it's called saddle brown, but I consider more of a peanut butter color. And of course you have the interior carbon fiber package. And let's just step inside real quick, close it up. You have the start stop button over here. And the easy entry and easy exit puts you back into the last memory setting. So you have 3-person memory for both seats. And you have they're cooled, ventilated, heated, and you can actually control the right seat here. So that's pretty cool. And even you can actually control the memory setting too. So you can actually just press it and it'll go to that setting, which is very, very cool. And the thing I love about the S-Class and really every Mercedes-Benz vehicle is they think things through. They didn't put the seat controls down there. One, you can't see what you're adjusting, and two, if they want to make the seat as big as possible and as comfortable as possible, they need to move everything like the heated seats and cooled seats and memory settings and of course the seat controls up to the door panel. That's how they've been doing it pretty much forever. You can actually see what you're doing. You have the thigh extender here. There's so many, I don't know how many ways that they're adjustable, but it's definitely more than 20. And of course here you have the door speaker for the Burmester system. I mean, everything is just metal. Everything you're going to touch is metal, leather, or wood. The door handle is cool to the touch. It's very nice, ergonomic. It's an easy motion with your hand. You just pull with the 4 fingers, push out. It's a very light door. Even though it's an extremely heavy car, everything like the door hinges just makes it easier. And of course you have the AMG that lights up on the sill plate at night. And you notice when you're in the coupe here, it's kind of similar to the sedan, just a more personalized experience. You're basically wrapped up in luxury and essence, performance, and everything like that. You can see the carbon fiber on the door kind of lines up here with it on the dashboard. And you have all your technology features here on the dashboard. So you have your Distronic Plus, the auto steering, lane keep assist, self-parking, 360 camera, heads-up display, and night vision would normally go there if the car had it. You can see the heads-up display there. It's very, very large. You can actually configure it. Right now it's just showing speed, direction of travel, and road you're on, but we're just in a parking lot, so the road's not mapped. And continuing on, you have these large 12.3-inch displays, which are really the main party trick of this vehicle. And it was actually introduced on the S-Class in 2014. And for 2018, which is the facelifted version of this car, they actually get rid of this border here, and they put both of the screens under one glass cover, and they remove these buttons here as well and just relocate them. Now, for the steering wheel as well, this being an AMG model, you get the flat bottom steering wheel. However, for the S-Class Coupe in general, you get a flat bottom steering wheel. There's many different variants of the steering wheel. Some have the AMG Dynamica or the Alcantara Suede on the side here, and then a racing line. However, this is a very unique version that I've never seen before. Doesn't actually have the AMG logo here, but it does have the piano black wood inlaid here, and as well as on the outside, and then you have leather on the bbottom here at the top of the rim, and on the bottom of the rim here. So it's very unique, and I haven't actually seen this configuration before for the steering wheel. Not sure if it's an option or if it's base. I'm not really sure if you can call it base option, but and of course the horn cover is stitched. You have contrast stitching here, very nice. You have the metal buttons, Bluetooth, home, radio volume here, and actually if we go to the main screen here, using the home button, you have things like trip, you have your digital speedo. If we go home again, you have navigation. It will just show you direction of travel. Same thing as the heads-up display. And things like radio, media, but my personal favorite is AMG here. So it shows you your coolant temperature, engine temperature. Here it shows you what mode your suspension is, whether your traction control's on, the transmission and the engine. So I'll change it here. Sport, manual, suspension, comfort, actually pops up there. AMG Suspension System Sport. And of course you have a vehicle lifter. Even though this vehicle does have a lowering module, you can still use the suspension lifter here, which is vehicle rising, and it'll go up to the regular height that it usually goes to if it didn't have the lowering module. So we'll put that back down. Engine back in comfort, suspension in sport. And of course these gauges are different from what you would find in a regular S-Class or S550 or even a Maybach. You have the cool red outline there. It says V8 bi-turbo with AMG on the left. And as far as digital gauges go, I know a lot of people don't like them and they still like the analog gauges, and it just makes them feel more connected with the car, and it's a cooler experience. However, with such an amazing luxury car like the S-Class, where technology is really its strength and it's always at the forefront, I mean, just look at how well matched the RPMs are to the sound of the engine. There's just no lag. It looks like an analog gauge, however, it's just a screen. Not really sure how they programmed it to do that, but that's just what Mercedes-Benz does. And continuing on, you have the other 12.3-inch screen here. It's currently showing navigation. I'm using the either touchpad or the selector wheel here. You can move out. And then you have things like your home shortcut, or my personal favorite, the seat here, seat controls. You can also show the navigation. You can choose what to have on the left side. But let's see. We go to massage. You have classic massage, mobilizing, active workout, activating, hot relaxing massage shoulders, and hot relaxing massage back. So it's like a hot stone massage. And you can adjust things like your dynamic multi-contour seat. Just as that level 1, I'll put a level 2. And that's the active bolsters in the seat. So if you make a hard left turn, the right bolster inflates and comes out. And if you make a hard right turn, the left bolster will come out. And it works for things like potholes and just bumps and undulations in the road as well. And you can control things like your seat heating balance, where you want the heat to come out, the backrest, sides, lumbar, shoulders. Just really, you can customize the seat to your body type and then just save it in the memory setting. And then you can have 2 other people if there's multiple people that drive the car. Then you go to media. That's your Bluetooth connectivity, radio. It's got HD/FM right now. You're able to connect Sirius satellite radio to it. You can connect telephone here. You got all your vehicle settings. I'm not going to go too much into it because I've actually already reviewed several other cars with the same command system, the infotainment system from Mercedes. But as you can see, it's got internet connectivity. You can open the 360 camera here. And there's really no limit to the adjustability here. Car has Wi-Fi. See vehicle settings. You have your ambient lighting controls here. So you have the color. You can adjust the brightness here. It's on the level 5 brightness, which I'm not really sure if you can see right now. It's the blue color right now. Not really sure how well you can see that, but I will say that the ambient lighting in the Coupe is not as good as the one in the sedan. I'm not sure if that's just because the way that they had to bounce off of the surfaces, or they didn't really have much room as far as integrating the lights. Like, you can see it here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you got blue, purple, pink, red, different whites. We'll leave it on Moonlight Blue, which actually I have in my S550. So I'll leave that there. And down here, like I said before, you have all the mode selector, sport suspension, comfort sport, and manual for the transmission. And I guess the engine too. And the suspension lifter here. This vehicle is on all-around air suspension. It has auto start stop, which will turn off. Volume control, you can turn off the screen. Hazard light. And continuing around, you have this giant panel here. There's just one solid chunk of carbon fiber going into the passenger door panel, showing all that leather. It's really, really nice interior. And of course you have the Falterbach logo that is embossed here in the center armrest. And another cool feature inside the S-Class, whether it's the Coupe or the sedan, so you have the center armrest here, you have the button to open it. It's very deep, generous. You have charging ports and everything inside there. And you must be thinking, how does the passenger get inside? So on the other side, you have another button here, and it opens. So not really sure how they designed that. It's really an amazing technology. It just latches and you can open it on either side. It's very, very cool. And it's definitely the only car I've seen that in. I've not seen that in other Mercedes-Benz models or other car manufacturers. Same goes for the glove box is very generous. This vehicle actually has the perfume atomizer. So if we go to the AC menu here, and you go to air freshener, which is currently running right now, makes the air smell nice, and it doesn't get on your clothes either. And you have ionization. It's very cool. Call that Mercedes juice. It's the sport scent. Sports scent. Pretty cool. And actually, one more thing I want to show you before we get it out on the road to drive is the LED intelligent light system, as well as the Swarovski crystals that are on the turn signals. So you see here you have indicators in the mirrors. But coming around the side, probably one of my favorite parts on the outside of the vehicle is you have the full LED projectors that swivel and go up and down, and they can move independent from each other. It's called the LED intelligent light system, otherwise known as multi-beam, which is on the 2018 and up facelifted vehicles. But you also have these amazing Swarovski crystals that line the top of the headlight, and they're for the turn signals. So this is only on coupes and cabriolets. The sedan does not have this. You see they're very, very bright. Coming to the other side. Goes all the way up. Which is a very, very nice touch. Alright, so now we're going to take the S63 Coupe out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Alright, right now we're in the 2017 Mercedes-AMG S63 Coupe. We've got the suspension and the engine and transmission in comfort mode. It is a 7-speed AMG speed shift gearbox. Very, very seamless shifts. It's not a dual clutch, it uses wet clutches, but it is very smooth. And this vehicle makes all of its 664 pound-feet of torque from about 1700 RPM all the way to around 5500 RPM. And it is all-wheel drive, so it has kind of like a pull your face back feeling when you're stepping on it. Of course, right now I'm just sitting at a red light, and I'm using the hold feature, which is on most Mercedes-Benzes. It's standard on S-classes, where you just push the brake pedal in and it holds the car in place, so you don't ever have to touch the brake pedal. And right now I'm going to put it into sport, give it some gas. Yeah, this thing has tons of torque. It's almost immediate, like I was saying. The electric power steering is very responsive, and the active bolsters really does a good job of keeping you in place. A quick U-turn. And it's just so enjoyable to drive. The exhaust note gives you those little burbles and the grunting sounds, if you will. The car makes very tight U-turns. It doesn't have all-wheel steering either. Yeah, it just pulls like nothing else. I mean, the car weighs over 4,500 pounds. It is no lightweight. But even in sport mode, the steering is nice and light. It's very responsive. I wouldn't call this a track car in any sense, but it is a large luxury sports car. And it is capable of doing over 200 miles an hour on the German Autobahn, of course, or in Mexico. But nonetheless, it's just like every other S-Class I've ever driven. It's an absolute joy to drive. Everything is within reach, all the creature comforts. I'm very comfortable in my seat. I have it perfectly adjusted to my body. The steering wheel feels good. You got the wood on the top here, the leather on the bottom. Visibility is great. I have a blind spot monitoring, everything I really need. There's no B pillars, so there's no blind spots there. The C pillars aren't that big, all things considered. A pillars sweep back and they're very thin. And visibility is great. Drivability is great. Let's do one launch here. This thing just, you get kind of a head rush from when you, I mean, I know I've driven faster cars. Actually, coming up in a few days, I'm actually going to be doing an 1100 horsepower Porsche 911 Turbo 997. So, yes, of course, this is slow technically compared to that car and other cars I've reviewed, but it's just the power delivery. It's just the way that it sends the power to all four wheels, and the theater and the drama, and just the class and the elegance. It wraps all that into one package. And this car's original window sticker in 2017 was around $190,000. And it definitely shows, you know, this is not a cheap car. It's Mercedes-Benz's flagship vehicle. This is a flagship of a flagship, if you will. It's an AMG, it's the Coupe, it's the top dog. And anybody who wants to have a high-performance car, a very luxurious car, but also be understated at the same time, this is the car for them. Alright guys, well that should do it for this review of the 2017 Mercedes-AMG S63 Coupe. Once again, huge thanks to my friend Alan, who's allowed me to take out the car to drive and review it, and I'll see you next time.